It's never a waste of time to make time for the truth. A moment spent listening and paying attention to the truth can change your life. So let's take a moment for the truth. Psalm 119:16 says, "I shall delight in your statutes. I will not forget your word." Today we have photo albums at the touch of our fingertips. We take a picture and it is instantly cataloged and on we go. Now that's wonderful in one sense. We can accumulate a multitude of images. The downside is that sometimes important moments and memories, they can get lost in the sea of our photographic warehouses. There was a time when photos were taken and we kept them in books and albums. If we happened to take a special photo of something, we only printed the very best and most important moments and photos. These are the ones which captured a special time and a special place. Now you might be wondering, why am I talking about this? Well, the psalm I read says, "I will delight in your statutes." The word used here for delight carries the idea of looking at something and then letting it take hold of your mind. It even has a sense of play. It's like looking at a special picture and then suddenly you enjoy and delight in what you're seeing. What you see plays in your mind and you are pleased in that moment and in that memory. Now understand this about the entire psalm. It's about God's word in its many forms. In this verse, his statutes involve God's written decrees. Now, you might wonder, how can God's statutes be a delight? But in a life lived under the guidance of God's direction, it recalls and understands the difference that those directions have made in life. Where many people may be wandering about in doubt, God provides proven direction. And rehearsing the applied moments where God's direction made the difference, those are moments of delight. I often tell people how following God's word makes a person smarter than they really are. The psalmist also says, "I will not forget your word." Looking back at the previous verses in this area, we understand why the writer says this. We remember something when it's tied to something else, a moment or an event. We don't easily forget what we have treasured. Like in verse 11, "I have treasured your word in my heart." We don't overlook what our lips speak of. As in verse 13, "With my lips I have told of all the ordinances of your mouth." We will retain what we have meditated on. Verse 15, "I will meditate on your precepts." Perhaps each of us need to slow down enough to take what God has provided to guide us in his word. Take a look at it and remember where those very instructions have made the difference in your life. Enjoy that moment, knowing that new delights await us as we pledge to continue in his ways and not forget. It may only take a moment for such an exercise, but God's truth remembered provides us with a moment that will matter. Thanks for watching and listening to Truth Matters Moment. Also, don't forget to look for our weekly podcast called Truth Matters. It comes out every Wednesday. Catch you later.